Bob Odenkirk is back as our favorite crooked lawyer Jimmy McGill/Saul Goodman for the sixth and final season of Better Call Saul, a prequel to Breaking Bad that's fighting the original series for the title of Best Vince Gilligan Show. Season 6 premiered last night with 2 brand new episodes that are already off to an intense start. While the premiere, Wine and Roses, focused on the aftermath of Season 5's explosive finale, Episode 2, Carrot and Stick, lays down the path Jimmy and Kim, Rhea Seehorn, will follow while trying to destroy Howard Hamlin's, Patrick Fabian, career. The second episode also gives a shout-out to the past, bringing back 2 long-forgotten characters who last appeared in the series' first season. It looks like the show is coming full circle and forcing Jimmy/Saul to face the consequences of his morally ambiguous actions, and the price he'll have to pay may be Kim's soul. Like with the premiere, there's a lot to unpack in the second episode of Better Call Saul Season 6. Carrot and Stick follows Jimmy and Kim as they continue with their plan to discredit Howard. In the first episode, the duo planted fake cocaine in Howard's locker so he would be caught red-handed in front of Clifford Maine, Ed Begley Jr., the senior associate of a respected law firm and H&M's partner in the Sandpiper case. To make sure Cliff will buy the idea that Howard is a drug addict, Jimmy and Kim try to come up with an invented case that some actor could present to Davis and Maine. Their goal is to have Cliff himself receive the potential customer, but not take up the case so that Howard stays in the dark about their plan. The fake case must also be related to Howard's history as a lawyer, and the actor they hire needs to casually mention that Howard is addicted to cocaine. After some back and forth, Kim comes up with the perfect solution, bringing back some old clients from Season 1. In Better Call Saul's first season, Jimmy gets in touch with a couple of potential clients, Betsy, Julie Ann Emery, and Craig Kettleman, Jeremy Shamos. Craig has been embezzling money from his job with the help of his wife, and Jimmy offers to represent them. However, they refuse Jimmy's help and go to H&M, where Kim becomes their lawyer instead. Kim comes up with a deal to cut Craig's prison time, but the couple refuses to take the deal, preferring to bribe and then blackmail Jimmy to force him to clear Craig's name. Since winning on trial would be impossible, Jimmy hires Mike Ehrmantraut, Jonathan Banks, to break into the couple's home, steal the dirty money, and deliver it to the authorities. In one strike, Jimmy prevents himself from getting exposed for accepting bribery and condemns Craig to prison. It's been a few years since Craig got out of jail, and the Kettlemans are back at business by working in their own tax service company. Unfortunately, the Kettlemans lost their money and are now stealing pennies from the elderly, happy to get any amount of dollars they can while pocketing a portion of their clients' tax returns. Kim's plan involves Jimmy contacting the couple, revealing that Howard is addicted to cocaine, and insinuating that since he's the head of H&M, the Kettlemans could pledge that his addiction harmed the outcome of Craig's case. Jimmy plays his part perfectly, name-dropping Cliff's name, to ensure that the couple will look for him as a reputable lawyer after understandably refusing to work with Jimmy in the past. As expected, the Kettlemans reach out to Cliff, increasing the lawyer's suspicion about Howard's potential substance addiction. However, the Kettlemans also figure out that Jimmy is using them to get to Howard and threaten to expose the truth. Jimmy wants to offer the couple some money to keep their mouths shut, a strategy that doesn't quite work. Fortunately for Jimmy, Kim is right beside him, and instead of a carrot, she has a big stick to push the Kettlemans in the intended direction. Kim calls up a friend of hers in front of the Kettlemans and blatantly threatens to expose their new white-collar scheme. When the Kettlemans are desperate and willing to do anything to avoid prison, Kim orders them to pay their victims back and forget Howard's name entirely. Kim is ruthless in the final scene, surprising both the audience and Jimmy. It's clear that Better Call Saul's last season is exploring how Jimmy's repeated mistakes may have robbed Kim of her moral compass, and now the crooked lawyer needs to face the monster he created. To make matters worse, the final scene of Carrot and Stick shows a mysterious car following the two after leaving the Kettlemans' workplace. It could also be that Saul's previous involvement with the cartel will come back to haunt him as he gets dragged back into the Fring vs. Salamanca war, which is still raging.